And welcome back, everyone, to Overtime. As we teased earlier, we do have a special guest here on the interview couch with us. He is none other than a young man, if you will, who has a love and a passion for the written word. David Healy, sports editor of the Delta Democrat-Times. Thanks so much, David, for joining us on Overtime. Once again, of your busy schedule, especially during this time of the year, because you're beginning year number 7 here in the Delta of covering high school football. Your impression so far of what you've seen, the camps you've gone to over the course of the last few weeks, gearing up for yet year number 7 of covering high school football here in Washington County.
Well, thanks, Stephen. It's good to be back here. It's been a while, but it's good to be back. I know what an institution you are, and it's always great to be able to talk with you. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 7 years. This will be my 7th football season, and boy, time does fly. It should be another great year. You know, we've got 9 high school teams in Washington County that I cover. There's so much to talk about, really. You know, it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you have your pub, your high school football preview coming out very soon. Fill us in on that date, that target date, because I'm sure a lot of readers always look forward to that pub that comes out yearly.
Well, it's this year should come out in the first couple weeks of September. You know, they're always starting school earlier and earlier, you know, and some teams don't even know who's going to be on their team until right now. So we've pushed it back, but get to see profile stories, pictures of all the players, breakdowns of the positions and everything. Some good pictures, I hope. And, yeah, definitely check that out if you get a chance.
All right. Let's break down some of the teams you've actually had a chance to cover the past few weeks, gearing up for yet another season here in Washington County. Let's start out with the largest high school in Washington County, Greenville High. Coach George Richardson beginning his 2nd year for the Hornets. What's your take on the way that program is headed under his leadership?
This isn't to slight any of the coaches that are in Washington County, but Coach Richardson is an impressive coach. I mean, his organization and the way he carries himself, you can just tell he knows what he's doing. And it's been a long time for Greenville High School to have success, but, I mean, I think they have the right man in charge. They've got a lot of talent, as always. They always play, you know, they're the toughest teams of all the schools. They always have the toughest, you know, so they take on all those big teams. I think a lot's going to be known about them on next Friday when they take on Shelby, because they got them last year. There was a bunch of high spirits last year, thinking that, you know, it takes time, and I think we'll learn a lot about them when they take on Northside up there.
And another school right here in Greenville, O'Bannon High School. Coach Lynn Lang, beginning year number 6. I had a chance to talk with him a couple of weeks ago, and he said one thing that impressed him about this year's squad, depth. He said probably depth-wise, this is the best team he's had.
Well, I've always been impressed with Coach Lang. He is a true football coach. He is a no-nonsense, tough-minded guy, and I'm sure he's going to have his team ready to go. They've got a great quarterback in Chandler Wade. I think he started as a freshman, and now he's now a senior. And
as far as Leland right now, new coach, Johnny Griffin. I know you did a story on him a few weeks ago. He brings a lot of muscle, if you will, to the Cubs program. Fill us in on your take on your impressions of Coach Griffin.
Well, one of the things I learned, as you're saying, he really nice guy. I really enjoyed meeting him. He was. I was talking to him. He's like, he tell me about his story. And he's like, yeah, I was the state weightlifting champion back when I was high school. I had the high school. It was squats. I think it was squatting. It was like 700 pounds. Like, wow. And he didn't even look that big. So you know you got to be pretty tough to be able to. You know, lift that much weight, I assume. But Leland, you know, they got a lot of good young players like quarterback Horatio Clark and Nick Allen, kind of the Swiss Army knife.
Simmons.
Right.
Never rebuilding. They just always reload. Haven't been to that state championship game since, I guess, 4 years ago. So this senior class, last taste they had of making it to the state were as freshmen. But as far as this year with Coach Hooker, as always, you expect them to be right there in the thick of it once season comes close to an end?
I think I might be bad luck for them because they have not won a state championship since I've been here, and they're always knocking on the door, especially that first couple of years. And, they just sort of bulldoze through the regular season, and I expect them to do that. No pressure, but I expect them, and then it's going to come down to the playoffs, the matchups and everything. But they, same old Simmons, they've got so much talent there with running back Eddie George and quarterback Tyrone Buchanan, Printavious Madison, Conzavious Lundy.
Right.
I mean, my goodness, there's something in the water up that way, and I expect great things from them.
And Riverside, new coach T. Spencer, comes from Greenville High. Patience, you think, is going to be as far as key is concerned when you look at the Bulldogs this season?
Right, and he's had some people transfer, and that's one of the challenges. But they got a kid named DJ Gatson. Remember the name? He's just getting stronger and better. Kind of a great running back for them, and I think he's going to carry the Bulldogs to some victories this year. I wouldn't be surprised. And with a new coach, I believe you got to. It's his opportunity, and I'm not going to tell them what they can or can't accomplish, and that would be wonderful to see Riverside back, making the playoffs and advancing in the playoffs again.
Well, I tell you what, Dave, we're going to take a break right now, but when we return, we're going to talk the MAIS ranks. We got some teams right now already with their seasons underway, and we'll fill you in on that and much more. David Healy, sports editor of the Delta Democrat-Times, joining us here on Overtime to talk Washington County high school football. We'll be right back after the short break.